In a slowly decaying futuristic city, social class is determined by the amount of time you spend in a virtual world called the interface. Hey guys, this is Emmanuel Filteau, and I am coming to you live every Thursday around this time. And in this weekly show, I share my drawing screen and show you what I'm up to. I've been doing that since a few years ago. And I appreciate any like, any subscribe, any shares. All that stuff is great. And without further delay, I'll just get started. But first, I would like to introduce you my comic, Tales from the Interface. And you can find it at tfti.inkorporate.com. And you can get all 3 books for $30, which is quite a bargain, $30 US, so plus shipping. And there's an option, you can get a sketch as well for $15, so don't delay and get it now. It's a beautiful, perfect bound book. Lead, I can show you a little bit. Actually, I have it right here. So this is the cover. This is the 3rd issue. As you see, it's perfect bound. It's a 6x9 format. A lot of, they're all bleed pages, full color. What else can I say? So if you like, if you're a fan of European sci-fi comics, if you like Judge Dredd and those kind of things, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy yourself there. And just need to look at something and we'll get started. So this is my current drawing. Just give me 1 minute, I need to check something. So having some okay, I'll be back in sorry, there's a small delay. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I just need to start something and then I'll be back. Hey Manu. Hey Johnny, comment ça va? Ça va bien? Fait que ce soir, je continue une page, mais il faut que j'aille faire un petit truc. Ça va me prendre 2 minutes puis je reviens. All right. Hey Jenny, sorry about that. I just had to start something before I could start drawing. Ça va bien toi? En tout cas, j'aime bien le groupe là. J'essaie de m'intégrer, commenter un peu là. C'est pas mal cool là. Ok. Donc, tonight, j'attaque cette case ici. la page de droite. Okay, so this is called the what I call my sketch phase. So I do every page in a sketch like that, and then I go by layers and try to improve it little by little. So I just lower the transparency. Donc, take another color and start laying the next layer. So he's kind of looking over his table and admiring his work. And this guy is a character from the page before, which I called MC. And MC is very proud of his table and of his mustache. So make sure to draw it. So this is the actually I was working on the other page the other day. Maybe I should continue that. So this is the first part of book 4. So my books are like 48 pages long, and this is like the first chapter. So I'm kind of working in stages where I'm gonna like finish the first half, and then I'm gonna work on the second half. So last week actually I was working on that section here, so I'm probably just gonna continue that instead. Just getting into my rhythm for tonight. So I'm already like close to half of the pages are inked, but I always like kind of do a rough ink, and then I'll go back again and add up some additional details and stuff. So where is that guy? Okay. I always use too many layers and get lost inside them. As you can see, like 111 layers. It gets a bit nut. I'm afraid always that I'm gonna lose thing. So oh, thanks. Yeah, it's gonna be I'm kind of going back and forth like within the interface world. Like sometimes some books have more of it, sometimes they have more. So this one is kind of between the two. Like I have a big sequence that happens inside a virtual world, but it's not as separated as in the other books. So some of the worlds that they visit are more like a movie, some are more like a game, and this one is more like a game. So I'm not sure if that makes sense to you, but like this one is more like in the page before we see them going to the world, and then she's gonna see Gautier like getting like he's having too much fun with the violence kind of thing, and then she's kind of, what is that kind of thing. Yeah, so book 4, I'm gonna probably be done like the first half in the spring. It takes me about 2 years to do a book. So I wish they could come out faster, but it's just how thing goes. Life limits my ability to draw. So one thing I'm not sure about is that they look really simple, and I want to go back after and try to add up some more finishing into these guys. Yeah, I was pretty happy with book 3. I think it turned out pretty well. I'm hoping this book will be well received as well. It's a maybe a bit of a departure in that it's much more tied story-wise to the third book. Like you could probably like people have been telling me that book 3 was very accessible. Like you could just start with that, and you didn't absolutely need to read the first 2. But this book 4, I think people might be a bit lost if they haven't read the first, the third one. Because I'm a big fan of Geoff Darrow, and I keep seeing his things, and I guess it gives me an impossible standard. But yeah, I want to add more texture to them, like bumps and crevices and like scars and stuff. Too far. Well, I hear you some of that Bisley kind of detail. Yeah. I kind of like. I do like his work. I have a few books of him. I have some of the Judge Dredd stuff he did. Quite nice. I do like him. Although I'm kind of more cartoony in my detail. It's so I identify a lot more with what Geoff Darrow does, or like European kind of style. So he's more like a kind of painterly Bisley, right? I saw him once in the Comic-Con like a few years ago. He wasn't super approachable. I tried to talk to him, but like he was doing his stuff and then didn't seem very interested in talking to people. I don't know, maybe he had a bad day, or I don't know. So I didn't push it. Okay, so there's this big guy in front. So I want to maybe just keep. Yeah, man, he's incredible. I mean, I would love to be able to chat with him. Like this guy, he really and he has so much respect in the field as well. You know, everybody speaks highly of him. I just ordered his lead poisoning book, and I'm really looking forward to check it out. It's like a collection of his sketches, those crazy huge sketches that he does. So it's gonna be nice to see the pencils. You know, I saw like I don't know if you saw his interview Cartoonist Kayfabe, but it's quite cool. He shows a little bit of his big pages, and it's like, man. And for some reason, he kind of went under my radar for a while. Like in the like 20 years ago, I saw his Rusty the Boy Robot, and I bought the book because I was amazed by it. But then I kind of because he doesn't come out with stuff very often. I think now with his new series, like Shaolin Cowboy, he's more maybe easier to see. But I guess I didn't really try to find his work because Hard Boiled came out around that time as well. Yeah, you're just talking about that. Yes, Hard Boiled, and he was saying like one thing he regretted was that every panel that he did was basically one page. So to his opinion, it kind of lacked the page kind of lacked structure, like a composition, a page composition. You know, you have a panel composition, which is nice, but overall page composition is pretty important too. And I guess this was his criticism against himself. But yeah, you know, this guy, man. Yeah, Hard Boiled is pretty awesome. I bet it did. And I only read it maybe 5 years ago. Strangely enough, I don't know why. It kind of was like it went under my radar for some reason. I don't know. Because the only book I had of him for super long was Rusty. I'm a big fan of robots, so you know, it was natural for me to get into it. Apparently, Frank, what I thought was funny is that Frank Miller didn't plan it to be the main hero to be a robot. It just because Jeff made him, you know, gave him so much abuse that he couldn't make sense that he wouldn't be anything else other than a robot. So he changed the scenario to fit that. just I found pretty funny. Ah. Yeah, I remember seeing the animation when a long time ago. It was pretty nice too. More simple, but it was fun. But definitely the original, like with that humor, is so great. Much richer experience. But yeah, these days, he really kind of blows my mind. I've been studying his work a lot. But if you like him, you should check out my old teacher. I can't show you, why not? Let me grab the book. I can put it in. Let me put this in webcam view. This is when I went to college. I was in a comic book kind of class, and the teacher was Grégoire Bouchard. So if you haven't seen this, it's like really big books, and it's really nice. Just as an example, look at that page. The amount of detail and the precision of it is kind of reminds me a bit of their own. I can see those control panels again. Like pretty amazing stuff. And the humor also even kind of a bit reminiscent. So you should check it out. It's quite nice. And then some pages are much more simple, but it works well. Kind of a 50s groove. Quite nice. There's like 2 big books like that, and a third that's like impossible to find. So that's a nice one to get. I don't know if it's easy to get or not, but you could look it up. Going back to my life. And another thing Darrow said that I found interesting was that oh, thank you for the like. Oh, I got some likes I didn't see. Who is that? Steph Dumais, Sachiko, puis Christian, merci beaucoup. It's hard to keep tracks of all those because I restream on a few platforms. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to keep track of what happens where. But I do appreciate all those likes because they really help out to the algorithm to kind of push my stuff forward. So like Facebook says, "Ooh, this guy, people like his stuff. Let's show it to more people," and that's how they operate. Yeah. So yeah, my teacher's name Grégoire Bouchard. You should check that out. Nice stuff. It took a long time for him to get published too. But he had been there for a long time, like the old underground movement. He was kind of part of it. in the 80s. It's a nice guy, but it's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but he's a bit reclusive. I guess it's kind of the typical of often these kind of people. Trying to close the line as much as possible, so when I fill them up, it's gonna be a bit easier. Coolest is all stuff is always the stuff you have to look for. Yeah, definitely. I haven't done a hunt in quite a while, especially with the COVID situation. But going through boxes was quite a lot of fun. I spent a lot of hours doing that until my neck couldn't stand it. Like a huge backpack, a huge heavy backpack, and then you look for true books for hours. With the smell of dust and the hunt is fun. Okay, so I do like to draw as much as possible or things that are overstepping each other, because then you kind of make a drawing that makes more sense. So I'll try at least to draw most of it. Okay, and then I'll turn back that back on. Oh, it looks okay. I can remove the lines on this one as well. I don't need them anymore. I saw a little bit missing here. Okay, so my main characters are, now I kind of have to draw the explosion. It's always a bit tricky drawing explosion. I'm never quite sure how to handle it, so I'm gonna do it just like open Google search and look at kind of images of explosions and trying to get an idea going on here. Like if I'm looking at this kind of thing here, it kind of makes sense, like those yeah, I can try to draw something like that. What I'm gonna do is just have it on my other screen here, and then try to gain inspiration from it. So these guys are good. Look at a lot of mess going on in the background, but it was kind of, I think it can be inspiring as well, that mess. I'm gonna lower the opacity of this guy and those as well, just so I can see where my explosion will happen. So the first thing I want to do is kind of redefine where it's gonna happen. The silhouette is really important. You know, I have some empty space here, so I definitely want something to happen around this region here, and then something that surrounds him, like I have a line here already. So I'm just gonna go for it, but I'm on the wrong layer, so just try to. So the most difficult thing in this kind of situation is to be random. We are wired to kind of do the same thing over and over and try to organize chaos. Our mind works that way. So it's really hard to draw chaos, you know what? So I'm trying to oh yeah, so you ordered a Grégoire's book? Oh, that's awesome, man. He deserves it, for sure. I mean, he's such an amazing artist. He's a nice guy too, although he's a bit reclusive. But yeah, he's really cool. And when I saw him last time, you know, he took time to look at my story and give me some criticism, and that was great. Okay, so Joe Paquette and Johnny are there. Okay, cool, guys. I didn't see it from the chat. It was a little bit far from my eyes to see. So you guys are getting the books. That's awesome. We can talk about them when we have a chat. I'd love to discuss these books with you. This trying to draw those explosion lines. And this is kind of the basic structure of them, but I want to I'm gonna work them a bit more after. And there's a lot to see visually. So Johnny, you don't speak French because you started. Did you start talking to me in French in the beginning? What's up, Manny? This is Johnny. I started to talk to you in French. I don't know why. I kind of thought you understood. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, Grégoire is. Oh yeah, well, oh man, I'll share some stuff with you. One of my biggest I don't know if he's an inspiration, but he's a guy I admire a lot. Called I'll type his name. You can look at his stuff. I'll type his name in the chat. So look out this guy. Look for this guy. I can share a few books I have of him. He was such a nice man, and he passed away recently. You should go check him out. It can be deeply disturbing at times, but it was done in a very satirical kind of way. And he was such a sweet man. I had the privilege to see some of his original, and yeah, I mean, he's one of a kind, seriously. So, and actually, Henriette, Valium, and Grégoire, the guy I just showed, they worked together in a magazine called Iceberg. And if I can move my camera here, the Valium gave me a reproduction of the cover. I don't know if I can see it with the camera. Here on the wall, yeah. So like you can, it's too small. Huh? Oh, wait. Yeah, you can go Iceberg. Iceberg was the name of the comic, and he gave me the original reproduction of the cover. Yeah, Ed Piscor, you know, with his cartoonist kayfabe thing, he really, well, Ilman and Jim Rock, they really got something there. But Red Room does look cool. I haven't had a chance, but yeah. Yeah, so Valium, I love that man. He was so nice, and one day he asked me to go and help him with his computer. So I went to his home and I helped him to fix it up, and then he showed me his originals, and you know, we had some chat, and he gave me those in exchange for helping him with his computer, which was very extremely generous of him. So he kind of breaks the standards of society. He was gonna make fun of religion and moral sense, and it is a great show. I've been enjoying it a lot. Like the interviews, they can find, you know, and get interviewed with some like legendary artists. Like I love the of course I talked about the Darrow interview, but the Aragone interview they did recently was awesome. That was really nice to hear about him, because I was familiar with his work from Mad, but I didn't, you know, I loved it, but I didn't necessarily know the extent of his experience. So yeah, he's a cool dude. Aragone, I mean. So I might be overdoing it, because this is gonna be like a 9-inch, so this is maybe an inch high, but oh, what the hell. I would like to reproduce my comics a bit bigger one day. I like that you're open-minded about other kinds of comics, because often people seem to think that the only kind of comics are like superhero comics, but that's definitely not what I grew up with. I had very little exposure to superhero comic actually growing up. It was more European, like Tintin or Asterix or this kind of thing. Then later I discovered probably manga more before I even looked at comics. I mean, they were the cartoons on television, but superhero comic were kind of I think we had a few at home, but I don't know. It never really touched me that much. Kind of looks like a mess at the moment, but I think it's gonna make sense in the end. Maybe remove some of the noise. It's starting to take shape. So I'm gonna very carefully try to start inking this. And I might go back to sketch line, but I want to try to clean it up a bit with ink. And that's a nice thing about the digital workflow, is that you can go from ink to sketch as much as you want. I keep watching my reference here. Try to make sense of all those little shapes. Always keeping in mind, do not be repetitive. And as before, I'm trying to avoid open line. It just makes my life a lot easier when it comes to coloring afterwards. But you know, I remember like when I was starting out with Photoshop, and somebody requested that, I was like, oh man. Because it is, I guess it is a style to have a lot of open lines, and I was kind of going for that. But with time, I really started to close up a lot and have more finished, kind of more closed up drawings, I guess. I don't know how I would say. And then, okay, maybe I'm gonna continue that one inside. Again, trying to avoid repetition. Hey! Salut, man. Comment ça va? 400 cases. L'expert Twitch. C'est... Ouais, ça va bien, man. Ouais, je trouve ça vraiment là comment tu manages ta communauté, puis ton channel, comment tu le gères, là, c'est cool. Ah ben oui, merci. Hein. Je suis complètement dans l'une. Là. Je dessine depuis tantôt, puis... That was awkward. Oh god. Ça faisait probablement une couple de minutes que j'étais de même, là, parce que j'avais montré de quoi, puis là j'étais revenu à... Aïe aïe aïe. Merci. Ouais, fait que je suis en train de travailler sur sur la page 12 du prochain livre. Fait que je suis en train de faire une explosion. Ouais, c'est ça. Fait que, tu sais, c'est à peu près la moitié de l'ancrage du prochain livre. Fait que probablement qu'au printemps, je vais avoir la moitié de faite, là, du livre du quatrième, là. Ouais. Puis je pense que cette-là est pas assez grande, je crois. Je vais baisser l'opacité, puis je vais essayer de refaire. So what's nice about working digitally is that you can always easily rework. Bon, voilà l'explosion. J'ai comme référence une explosion sur l'autre écran, puis j'essaie de m'inspirer un peu des formes. Ouais, c'est mieux. Hein? Ok, so delete the old layer. I don't need it anymore. Fait que ça va bien ton channel? Ça doit pas être ma première explosion? Non. C'est pas ma première. Ben, ça ressemble beaucoup à des nuages. Puis, tu sais, je me base sur une explosion que j'ai sur ici. Là. Je peux te montrer. Là. Ouais. C'est ça ma référence là, que je regarde. Là. Très de base. Là, tu sais. Je me base là-dessus pour le dessiner. Là. Ben oui, c'est ça. Hein. Ça prend du temps à streamer. Là. C'est beaucoup de dévotion à avoir une chaîne puis l'entretenir. Tu sais, moi, je suis comme un peu un effort minimal. Là, j'ai comme mon stream puis c'est comme un soir semaine. Puis je fais pas beaucoup plus d'efforts que ça pour le maintenir. Je sais pas si c'est une erreur, là, mais... Ouais, je sais, là, ça fait quand même 2 ans quasiment que je fais ça là, à toutes les semaines. Là. Avec une couple de congés à travers ça, là, mais pas mal assez régulièrement. Là. Mais tu sais, je suis quand même pas. Ça m'a pas valu un gros public. Là. Hey, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along. You know, trying to keep it random is the key. Sometimes it's tricky. You know. When I was in college, what I love to do is create like random shapes. Like I would do something like this, and I would love to do this kind of thing and color them. And sometimes I use this kind of shape for blood, or in this case, I think explosion. I can kind of draw into that experience of abstract shape. So it's because someone else asking me why I don't have more followers. I don't know, man, because I probably don't spend enough time to go to other people's channels and chat and stuff like that. I'm not a very, I guess I'm not very good at community participation. It's kind of the only thing I can see that why I don't have more followers. Also, I don't cater to pop culture. I like to do my own stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I probably don't promote enough. That's the thing. But Twitch, I haven't been doing Twitch for 2 years. I've been doing YouTube for 2 years. Twitch, I started. When did I start Twitch? Ouais, merci. C'est bien gentil de ta part. Tu sais, t'es jamais content, là, tu sais, je regarde là, les gens que j'admire, puis je me trouve poche aussi. Là. Qu'est-ce que tu veux? J'ai encore beaucoup à apprendre. I have a lot to learn. When I look, I was talking with Johnny earlier, and like talking about Geoff Darrow and how much I admire his work, and I would love to have a chance to meet him one day. I don't know if it's ever gonna happen. C'est ça. No artists actually find themselves really good. You're right about that. I didn't go to the Comic-Con. I know one of the guys on the chat has gone, Johnny. Not Johnny, but Joe Paquette. He went there and he saw Jake Dion, I think. No, I didn't go to the Comic-Con. I haven't been there in 4 or 5 years, I think. These events, they get expensive. Last time I spent way too much, but I was able to meet Régis Loisel, which was really awesome, because he was able to dedicate my Peter Pan book, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that's another guy Pink Buzz needs to talk about, Johnny and Joe. Régis Loisel. He's an amazing artist. and Disney totally ripped him off with Stitch because there's a character that looks exactly like Stitch in his comic. Jake, yeah, he is very nice. It's gonna be happening. I know he would love. Who would love Tales? You mean Jake? Would love Tales from the interface. I met it. I kind of met him once, but didn't really talk to him. We went to like a dinner after the MCAF, the FBDM, the Comic Book Festival in Montreal. But I really didn't really talk to him. Oui, je connais Denis H.O.T. Oui. Ah, ouais. Ben, c'est cool. Parce que, ouais, moi j'aime beaucoup ce qu'il fait. Là. J'ai acheté le dernier Alice. Là. Oh, you mean I'm gonna? Oh, I would love to. I would. If he liked it, I'd be. I don't know if I could stand. Honestly, probably just fall on my ass or something because I feel so beneath him. Um, but yeah, you know, he's just way too good. Yeah, magnifique. But you know, he's living in France, and I don't know if he comes here very often. But you know what? I do have a kind of family that lives there, in the same region he lives in. Oh yeah, yeah. It's. I'm not sure how I would describe Alice, but it's cool. It's cool. It's certainly an interesting idea that they're like kind of lost in deprivation, and we're how far are you willing to go, and okay, let's see if I turn up the opacity. Ah, yeah. That looks pretty good. And probably, you know, that's what happens if you see there's you kind of feel like there should be something here. But if I turn down the opacity, I can see why I didn't. So doing it like that doesn't really make sense. So what I can do is it's hard to put it into words, but I hope you can see what I mean. Having it directly beneath doesn't serve any purpose. So if I can just move that a little bit more, the silhouette will work out much better. It is for mature reader. Yeah, no doubt. It's on my top shelf there. Along with I'll get Valium stuff and Berserk. And some Manaras. You made making that explosions look so easy. Oh yeah? I don't know. Okay, so let me turn that back. It's very nice of you to say that. So you see the way now it goes down, it feels like it very weird. Like you don't know if there should be an explosion here or not. Like if there should be some clouds. So what I'm gonna do is kind of continue. Silhouette is really important in comic. It's how you kind of tell shapes. So just having this, I think, will probably tie it together a lot better. Yes and no. Oh. What is that? Ah, fucked up my layers. No problem. Let me just fix that. Okay, I don't want this guy to be on the same layer because I might need to color him differently. So I'm just gonna cut him out. And then I'm gonna paste my two explosion layers together. Okay. The Rock. I haven't seen Arcane yet. I saw it, and you know, like Peter Chung recommended it. So yeah, I need to watch that. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. But you know, if Peter Chung says it's good, I mean, who am I? Who am I to say anything? It's probably awesome. Yeah, I bet it is. I mean, it's so what is it? Is it like fantasy? It's sci-fi? It's some kind of fantasy for sure. But what kind of fantasy is it? I mean, to me, Arcane sounds kind of like black magic maybe. I mean, that's what it says, but I guess it could be a lot of stuff. So why? So that's one thing. Also, you know, what I'm trying to avoid is starting like lines like within corners like that. That kind of breaks the flow. So you want to always like try to avoid these kind of thing. And to try to keep as random as possible. So like following a line or starting from a line, a middle of a line, or like having something parallel. Like they're called tangents, and it's certainly something to avoid. It's fantasy with some steampunk element and yeah, a touch of sci-fi. It's like G.D. Morgan comic in a way. Huh. Yeah, that's cool. Ah, see what I was talking about? Our brain kind of wired to do the same thing over and over. It's really hard to be random. can see. It's pretty cool. I'll have to keep it. But that's what I was saying. When was it? Oh, in the another like who says like Alexandre? Ah, ben oui. Yeah. So I was saying in the Pink Buzz chat that they just canceled Cowboy Bebop, and it's another series that gets canceled. It's like they start up these things and with no commitment, and it really bugs me. So whenever there's a new series there, I'm like, oh my god, do I want to get involved in it? If they're just gonna kind of cancel it, it's really annoying. It's like they started like the Dark Crystal thing, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, finally we can add some cool puppets, and then it's cancelled. I don't know. Okay, so now at this stage I want to add my red, and I'm gonna turn up this guy here. It helps to give a bit of transparency to see the difference where it overlaps. So what's missing here is some debris. So I'm gonna start adding some debris here, and this should be here. So I'm gonna just label this a bit, explode, and start drawing some kind of just debris and small rocks and stuff. There's an overlap I missed here. Yeah, that's strong. Okay, definitely one of the top shows. Cool. And it's been confirmed for another season, so that's cool. At least they're committed to 2 seasons. But yeah, just it's great that they're committing, because you do kind of get burned out by those shows that don't have good endings. Like, I think my earliest occurrence of that I can think of was when they had the writer strike. When around the time of Battlestar Galactica, and that sucked. I mean, it completely broke the story. But since it seems like ever since they kind of said that okay, we don't need to think about the finished product. We just need to make money to get people in right then. We don't need to think about a good ending. We don't need to have a complete story. So that's one thing that Clip Studio is really good at, is blocking things like that. So it's really easy to fill up lines. So I got a new interview posted today with Blake Morgan. I know he's a friend of Joe Paquette here. It was very fun. He's such a nice guy, and I had a blast talking with him. It was fun to hear that interview. He has such a great energy. But he puts too much pressure on himself. I told him, you don't need to hurry up to post that, and I think he did. You know what? I'm gonna look at another reference from Explosion. I think I could improve it. I want to see a Kirby explosion. Not Kirby. Not Kirby. You know nothing. Just want to see the kind of explosion that Jack Kirby would do. Yeah. I never really took from him, but just curious to see how he would draw some explosions. There's some explosion there. What I can do is add an effect here, a Clip Paint Studio effect. Like probably something like random like this, or maybe start from, I can try that. What's that supposed to do? Oh, okay, here. So I can do that, and I can also like putting it behind. I'm gonna lower it a bit, so this guy is kind of like, okay, let me try again. If I put it here, so I need to stretch it out and like this. And then I want to put it behind my explosion. I want to And I can try different versions of it and see how that works. Alright, there's gonna be some additional finishing on that. I'm not too worried. I think like something like that will be good. Just need to like put this guy on top of the lines and but yeah, I think for this page it's gonna be okay for now. I'm gonna just move on to the next. Do I work with a pedal? No. What's a pedal? It's like kind of two additional shortcuts or what? I'm not sure what you mean by pedal. Some tool I'm not familiar with. Or maybe I am not familiar with the term. Oh, is that the pen? Or my because my shortcuts, my keyboard is right behind. It's right here underneath. So I will like press the space bar to like just to carry around the mouse, or yeah, I think that's probably what you hear, or either that or the click of the mouse. So now I need to draw those hills, and I did some of them here, so I want to kind of try to match the and the trick here is that my horizon is here, so you want to, it's easy to not fold that, so you want to try to keep that horizon line in your mind. So when I'm here, I want to always go towards my horizon. For translation. Never heard of using a pedal for translation. Yeah, I think it's simply the click on my keyboard. It's a very clicky keyboard. Very cheap keyboard. And it serves the purpose. I had bought a smaller one, but it broke so fast. Very annoyed about that. trying to make the grid without looking like a grid, but it is a grid. Trying to be random again is always important. I'm trying to kind of create the mesh of those hills. And then I can probably add a little bit of growth to them. I think I can start inking right away. This is kind of the final look I want. Just try to keep that in mind when I ink this. So, hey Rudy, it's a neat technique. Never thought of that. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm curious. Tell me about it. Hey Rudy, how are you doing, man? I did get around to read your story. So Rudy, Sulking Shadow, does a webcomic called Fuda Comics. Usually, and I've been following it since 20 years. For 20 years, and he's been going for that long. I stopped making comics and started again while he was still doing it. So kudos to you, man. You're a survivor. Yeah, so now I am inking page 13. So I finally finished page 12, Rudy. So just before you arrived, I finished that panel on the bottom here. And now I moved on to page 13. So I'm working on the hills here. Which is not as complex as other stuff I've done. Which is nice. I can relax a bit more. I would say inking is more relaxed than a lot of stuff to me. Like when I try to write story, I think this is when I need the most concentration. I find it very hard. I mean, comic is, when you draw, it takes a long time, but it's not doesn't require a ton of concentration. That's why I can do these lives at the same time. Yes, exactly, Johnny. You're exactly right. It's like you try to be random, but you end up going. You end up doing the same thing over and over again. It is very tricky. It's very tricky to be random. It looks good when you're done, but trying to do it is another matter. And we're kind of seeing it from the bottom here because the horizon line is so low. So I can try to have a kind of an overhang here. So yeah, Rudy, I thought your average chef idea was pretty good. I had a few laughs there. But next time I read a bit before that. Next time you use you want to put French in your comic, let me know. I'll help you out. So Rudy tried to use the Bonhomme Carnaval, which is a character in Quebec City for their winter festival. Was it? And then he gets beat up by his character, and pretty funny. But if you want some French words, I'll help you out there. You okay? You use Google Translate. Well, it did sound funny. I'll give you that. It's not that one. Oh, well, you're very welcome, Johnny, and I wish you. I hope that your physical therapy goes well, and it was my pleasure. I am very happy to have a chance to show you that, and we'll chat again in the Discord. Just trying to keep those random lines going. So there's this other lines I did here, but I'm not sure I want to do it. Feels like I don't need it. Maybe I do. Oh. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it on another layer and just try to see what it does. Laters, man. Again, thank you for being here. It's really nice to have some fun time on the chat here. So I can play around with the colors as well for this and try to see if I can put that second part maybe a bit darker. I'm kind of thinking of keeping it now. Yeah, it's kind of, maybe I'll put it in just maybe the front part will be darker and then this second part will be a bit lighter. I think it might be interesting as an effect. I'll keep it like that for now, and you know, I can always turn off this layer if I don't like it later. Okay, now on the other side. again, always keep in mind to be random. I think this is probably the key takeaway of this session, like drawing explosion and then drawing those rocky hills. It's randomness is key, and it's something you always need to keep in mind when you're doing that. So I'm trying to kind of draw from the bottom if I can. The horizon is lower, so I'm trying to kind of, not sure how that works. Yeah, I like those little rocks at the bottom like this. That's pretty nice. Remember, it kind of reminds me of the rock formation in New Brunswick. I went to see many years ago, and they had these rocks that were kind of like that. Like, they were kind of missing some sections. The wind kind of blew them out. Like this. Spoke to the village this weekend, you mentioned. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I made a drawing in his honor. Shared it on social media. Nobody told me about any. There was a march, like a kind of a, I won't call it a parade, but kind of a procession to honor him, and that was nice. But yeah, you know, of course, I'd love to be part of anything that honors him. We'll see. If anybody wants to use my drawing for that, I'm glad to let them have it. I just want to draw a straight line. Yeah, and he does some really cool stuff. I did support his Mother Trucker uh, Kickstarters. Nice stuff. Not wrong. Guess again trying to be random. Maybe lower than that. This. So I need to refer to another page now, or here. So I'm just gonna open that. Yeah. I haven't had a chance to speak to him directly, except like a little bit on his campaign, but he looks fun for sure. I kind of wondering if I should even do a sketch here. I'm gonna try to just draw it like that. I think from the post I saw, it seems like he still does wrestle. It's really a world, isn't it? Like there's a wrestling people are so passionate. As simple as that. I think that works for this panel. Okay. I'm sure it helps him, Andy, being so having so much charisma. Certainly must help him like sell at places like Comic-Con. I do want to try it one day. Try a table at the Comic-Con. I would probably want to wait until I have a full series done and finished, so that I have something complete to sell. Never drew them from the back, so how would they look? They have the shoulder pad, yeah, I bet it was. People are still getting back into things. I'm really hoping for a FBDM next summer. I hope it's gonna happen. Because I really would like to bring my book to a con, and that has been my preferred event. I hope you can make it. I would love to get a chance to chat with you this summer if you come to the FBDM. All right. Yeah, I think having a smaller con is nice. I mean, it's. I guess they made less money for it, so that kind of sucks for them though. But otherwise, for us fans, it's great. I think I'm gonna switch to a smaller nib here. Maybe not. I tend to go too much into details anyway. So this will keep me yeah. Yeah, FBNM is a really fun event. I really like it, and there's a lot of independent people doing their stuff there, and it's a bit more French than English, I would say, but there is more and more Anglophone people who go there. What I would really like to try one day is the TCAF, which is quite a bigger scale event. I've been trying to get in for a couple of years and never got accepted. It's quite hard to get in. But I would love to do TCAF. That's it's a big goal for me. FBDM? TCAF is tricky to get in, yes. FBDM is the MCAF, so it's like the Montreal Comics Art Festival, and it happens, well, so typically it happens in La Fontaine Park, but they tried to change the format to go on Montréal Street, and kind of have a kiosk thing going on. But that got cancelled, so I'm not sure what they're gonna try to do next summer. If they're gonna go back to La Fontaine Park, or if they're gonna go to the back to La Fontaine Park. And Rudy is right. TCAF is quite tricky to get in. I don't know. I hope I can one day. I would really like to try it out. I heard great stuff about it. You do try to to have new talent come in. If you went, then they will say, oh, you cannot come like 2 years in a row or something like that. So that's nice. Gives them more chance to people. But yeah, I would love to try that. But I've been going to the yeah, I would like to do both. I would like that. Joe. Yeah, I'd like to go to both events. One is in, and they're when is it again? I think one is in for sure the MCF is in May. At the end of May, between May and June, and then TCAF. Trying to remember, it's not far from there. I think it's close to it's close to May as well. TCAF. There's also a VCAF, but I don't think I had the budget to go to Vancouver for a comic convention. Oh, I don't want that. And the game there. They had an online thing last year, which I didn't even try to get into. Maybe I should have. I didn't think it was worth the trouble. Trying to see. They do have a website. Why I can't find it? That's stupid. Oh, okay. Why they don't say their date? That's a dumb website. I'm on their website and I can't find the date. So just before the big MTL Con at the Palais des Congrès. You mean the Salon du Livre? That's in November. And I haven't been to that one. I went to the one in Quebec City, which was nice. They had their own little comic thing going on. I was supposed to go there last year, but then it got canceled due to the COVID thing. I had already booked and everything. Yeah, it bugs me. When does TCAF take place? See, this is some cool poster they did, but none of them have dates. May. Yeah, okay, May. So mid-May. So TCAF is mid-May, and then the Montreal one is end of May, and so the Salon du Livre, which is the big book event, like all kind of books, this is in November. So I've been to the I haven't been there as an author to the Montreal big event in November. Kind of want to be backed by an editor if you go there, though. So you, Rudy, do you know people who went to TCAF? I know people who went there, and yeah, they really liked it. So I'm kind of winging this character here. I'm not sure how great it looks, but it is pretty small. Yeah. Well, it's good for them to be able to go. It's a big investment, huh? I'm looking at the fees that it costs. I mean, compared to the return. I mean, you rarely. I don't know if I would even sell enough book to pay for my the hotel and the transportation and everything. So I guess the benefit is really kind of the contacts that you would make. Building relationships and yeah, today. Yeah, you went to VCAF. So you're you're in Alberta. I guess VCAF is closer to you than TCAF. Do you know? I'm not sure. Is it a bigger event or it's pretty similar? Like I think TCAF is maybe a bit bigger. That's just a suspicion because Toronto is a pretty big city, but so is Vancouver. So I don't know. Right. Yeah, I had a friend who was working in the Regina. So no, that's a Saskatchewan. I'm completely messed up. Okay, TCAF is bigger. Okay, cool. But I would like to visit Vancouver. I never had a chance to go there. Looks like a pretty fun city. Just really expensive. My niece is there now. She's studying medicine. She's like a intern currently. Kind of winging the whole thing here. Trying to keep that weight even. It's another tricky part of it. Great chatting with you too, man. Oh, Oh, please, please, poor thing, let him out. I'm almost done too. I do that until 11. And yeah, have a good night, man. And so nice to join us. And we'll chat again on the Discord or over Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Have a good night, man. I'll wrap this up now. Thank you guys for being here. All of you. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, everybody who stopped by and liked the stream. It was a great night. I had a lot of feedback. I love that. And you know, I think we had pretty good progress tonight. Finished up page 12, like that panel in the bottom here. So pretty happy about that, getting that done. And then worked on that panel, which is nice little simplistic, but good composition. I like that. Sometimes it's nice to have these simple kind of panels. And then did a big part here, so pretty good overall. Pretty happy with the result. Tales from the Interface is a comic I've been working on since 2015. 3 books are out. You can purchase them on the website, tfti.incorporate.com. $30 for all 3 of them, mailed by me. And you can get an extra sketch for $15 US. All that plus shipping. And I will... and I ship them myself, so they're all here, and you can get them. You know, I ship them pretty fast usually. And that's pretty much it for tonight. So thank you for all the likes. Thanks for the share. Thanks for the talk. It really helps my my adventure in comics grow. And I wish you the best of night. And I'll be back next Thursday. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Excellent. Yeah, best of night, and I'll be here next Thursday around 9 or a little bit earlier sometimes, and I'll be glad to chat with you again. And don't be a stranger. We can chat on wherever social media we chat usually. So have a great night and a great week. I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.